Alright, so I guess, we live from the Gazebo right now. Well, the Gazebo is wherever we go.
Ooh, I like that.
It's changed a little bit, but that's the saying. Well, we live right now. Sit with my next guest, Peachkka.
Hello.
Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, I'm so excited, honestly.
And I love, first off, I love the Croatian heritage in the name. I love it. I mean, speaking from...
If you know, you know.
We all Croatian here in some form or fashion. So, that's it's great to see that you put some homage, into the name.
Some people I don't think get that I am paying homage to it, but it is what that is why I did it, you know? And obviously because the word has so much weight behind it, that's part of it as well, because I'm very anti-censorship, so it's that kind of ties in with my values and everything.
It ties into your message as an artist almost.
For sure.
Yeah, so sort of let the people know who you are, introduce yourself to them and who might not be familiar.
Yeah, I'm Peach. I am a rapper, and among other things, I do kind of everything, a little bit everything creative. I produce a podcast. I produce my own podcast. We got kind of shit talk in the building.
Shit talk in the building, yes sir.
I'm here. I'm a playwright. I write films. I write everything, literally anything creative. I do it, but for the most part, I'm doing this music thing right now. That's kind of the lane that I've chosen to be in, and it's going really well. I feel it's not something that I ever thought that I would be doing. Real shit. Of all the things that I've ever studied or done, music is not what I thought that I would end up in. But here we are, honestly.
And this isn't your first interview as an artist or as a person. I mean, I know I saw a few that did over in the UK, overseas. So is this, you miss it over there? Is it something that you miss being in the UK?
Yeah, I miss it so much. I feel mostly because everybody's over there. I feel I moved there at a point in my life whenever things weren't going very well for me. I kind of had to get rid of everything I know and start over. So it that became my home. Really, that's where I grew up. That's where all the people that I met have become my family, and that kind of thing. So, as much as I was happy to come back to my real family, and the people that I grew up with, it was really difficult to leave the people that were there for me, and that I lived with and that I loved, and all those things. But in terms of the politics and shit, it's all the same, you know what I mean? So it's I feel if I could pick those people up and put them anywhere and I'd be with the, that's what I would miss.
Really
so
just
it's
missing those bodies, those people that
came
there,
of course. So, but I mean, I feel London was where I started my music career, so it's kind of it'll always be very, very special for me.
And so, forever. Like you said, you have people over there that are still creating, still making music, and you're still in connection with them too.
Yes,
so.
my record label is over there. So it's all my producer, my engineer, my manager, and all of my team is over there, and it's I'm kind of just kicking it solo out here, because I had to. So it's but
is there plans to go back?
Oh yeah, for sure. As soon as this travel ban gets lifted.
As soon as this crazy shit is out.
Honestly.
And that's been difficult, I guess, for a lot of people, just beyond this, but to get to see their loved ones, to get to see their family, all this travel, and so tell me a little bit about how you started, I guess, musically. What is sort of that inspiration, that first drive to say, you know what, I'm gonna put my voice on a record, or I'm gonna put my beat, on a beat, anything like that?
Yeah, honestly, I was really reluctant. Every step of the way, I was really reluctant because I'm just very aware of, the hip-hop community. I've always been a fan of hip-hop. I've always loved rap music, always, all that stuff. And it's I know what it looks like as a white rapper, and I know what it looks like as a female rapper.
True.
And then, obviously, in more recent years, we know what it looks like as a white female rapper. And it's not, you don't get the most respect.
Very true.
And for me, that's a huge part of it. And it's so... Whenever my friend in the very beginning was I'm going to start rapping, I really want you to come on a track. I know, because I wrote poetry forever. And they were I want you to, do something, blah, blah, blah. And I was just no, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, and then,
they were just come on, I know you can. And I would really love it. And it was always for somebody else. that I would, like, because of somebody else's recommendation or somebody else's whatever, and they were like, it would be really good. And then I think for me, because I was doing it for somebody else and it had that bit more of a special meaning as well, as opposed to just me being like, I'm going to start rapping. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's just a little bit like...
You put a little bit more care, craft into it because you knew it wasn't really representing you, it was going to be representing somebody else. So.
Yeah, and then whenever I finally started to do it, like, on stage, or like, technically professionally, like, I was just posting, like, freestyles on my Instagram, and, like, that for me took a long time to get to, like, to even show
build
people.
That confidence.
Right, and like a lot of years of writing by myself and like practicing and, oh, this doesn't sound good, this is offbeat, this could be something different. Like, and a lot of people don't take that time and that care, I don't think. And I think for me, I'm very self-critical, so it's like I wasn't going to ever show anybody something that I didn't think
it was absolutely ready.
For sure. Yeah. So, like I said, when I first started professionally rapping, technically, like, my producer now, he found me on Instagram and he was like, look, you need to start doing this for real. Like, you need to come to the studio. And I was like, to the studio? Like, what? I was like, I've never stepped foot inside. Like, I don't even know what to expect. I don't know.
Unfamiliar territory.
Yeah, and it was terrifying. It was so scary, but like, it was exciting. And like, and then I just, continuously got more comfortable and like, could actually write in front of different people and that sort of thing. Like, for me now, like, the most recent experience that I've had going into the studio was with, I don't know if you know Saeed.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, he's just a local rapper around here, and I've never met him before. He messaged me on Instagram, and he was like, look, I really like your stuff. I really want you to do a track with me. Excuse me. And I was like, sure. Like, of course, I would love to. But, like, the studio is at his house. Like most studios are. Yeah. Every studio, if you're
nowadays,
a rapper, a producer, whatever, it's in your house. Like, whatever.
We're getting to that point, though, with technology where you're able to make some really creative stuff right out your house.
Exactly. So it's like, who am I to judge? But at the same time, as a woman, I need to be smart.
Absolutely.
And not just go willy-nilly to places. But, like, after doing this for however long, it's like you kind of learn when people are being genuine and when people are just, trying to get to you and whatever. And it's like, I ended up going and it was so exciting. Like, I'd never met this guy before, whatever. It could have been really bad, but like, it ended up being really great. Like, in the track, I'll play it for you later. It's hard. It's so dope and I'm very excited. Like, it's one of my first features and I'm so excited. It's going to be a banger. But it's like, if you don't work to get to that point, like, you can miss out on so many opportunities.
I absolutely feel that. And it's like that opportunity cost, and you learn about that even in school. It's like everything that you do, you're missing out on something else. You could be doing this, you could be doing that. So every time you say no to a session like that, or you say no to a feature, it's like you might limit yourself to a group of people, a fan base, whatever it is, and a future collaborator, and you learn and you get inspired by those people.
Right, and even like, and this, I don't know, you might not want to keep this in here, but like for me, as a woman, like even if it would have went left, and something would have could have happened, which it happens to women in the industry all the time, happens to women in general all the time, like then that's just a learning experience. Like, obviously, God forbid that happens to me or anybody else, but it's like, then you have to take that as that same opportunity cost and take it as an opportunity that, okay, not everybody can be trusted. Absolutely. And not everybody can be trusted. That's all there is to it.
Like you said, it takes a lot to understand who's genuine and who's not. And,
it does.
And like, I've been coming into a lot of contact with artists, and I think a lot of people, they do have a genuine spirit about them.
For sure.
It's the end of the day, what are you in it for? And sort of we all have a different goal in this. So
yeah, I feel like artists generally are very like they mean well, but it's all the other people. It's the people that aren't necessarily able to be artists, and then they want to be around the artists. And those sometimes are the people that you have to watch out for. In my experience, that's the way it's been. And
you see that in popular music, and they're left and right. Their circles are iffy. The people around them are iffy.
Oh, for sure. Because it's like, you can tell when people are trying to manipulate you in general, or you have to get to that point where you can tell when people are trying to manipulate you.
Yeah, so tell me, I guess work a little bit into that. Like, how do you maneuver through this, and like, how do you like find who am I going to work with, or who to choose, like the producer, sort of like your creative process in selecting a beat or going about a feature, like you said, just sort of like the creative process you have.
Yeah, that's actually a really good question. I feel like for me, it goes a lot about like gut feeling and like how it makes me feel. Like I've been asked to do a lot of different things and agreed and like whatever, and then I've listened to the track and it might even be great, but like I can't feel it. I can't get into it, and it's like that for me is really important. So but that goes for anything. Like I feel like a lot of people just really have a hard time listening to that gut instinct that they have, and they're conscious and all these things, and I feel like that's there for a reason. And especially as an artist, you need to be able to tap into it. You need to be able to tune into those things, because you need to trust yourself before anybody else. So I think that's part of it. That's a huge part of it for me. But like in terms of like creating, like I think for me it always starts with the words. It always starts with the words. So like if someone sends me something to feature on or like a beat or whatever, and I can't visualize the words that go to it, then it's hard for me to latch onto it. I know a lot of people, they start with the hook, or they start with like a melody, or they start with a flow, right? And I'm the exact opposite, like because I come from a writing background. Like I'm a writer first and foremost. I won't be able to sit here and freestyle for you ever. I feel like that's just not the way my brain works. I can't do it. But like if you give me like 15 minutes, I could maybe, you know what I mean, like that kind of a thing. It's just like especially with being a white female rapper, which I'm incredibly aware of, I'm never gonna sit here and insult you by wasting your time and saying shit bars. Yeah, exactly. like you got me fucked up.
It's not worth it. It doesn't represent you.
Exactly. Like I want to give you something that is going to be as good as I say I am. And like
it's always going to have to represent you, and always going to have to say, okay, I'm not just going to come off the top with some, like you said, some bar that isn't going to say anything, really. It's not going to say anything. And I think a lot of artists, even just this previous artist I had on, Scott, shout out Scosley, man. He is a very, very talented artist. And he even said when we were working, he was like, I can't freestyle. I can't go off the top of the head. No. And then he proceeds to sit there in 20 minutes, just goes off the top of the head on a freestyle. And it sounds crazy. And I'm like, and he's like, well, I can't ever put that out because it's just not my best me. That's not who I am. I'm just coming off the top of whatever I can. And I think a lot of people, they have a struggle with, okay, what do the people want and what do I want to hear myself come out of. So
that's a big one, because a lot of artists don't take the time past what do I want to hear.
It's very true.
And that's why so many people's shit sounds the fucking same. And it's like, I mean, sometimes, you know, people can't get past that. And but it's also finding your own lane. Like, it's hard to explain, because it's like as an artist, you should be doing what you want to do ultimately, you know, but if you are going to try to make money from it, that's a whole different thing, because then it becomes, you know, what does the consumer want? Absolutely. But not just what does the consumer want, what does the consumer want from me personally? Because it's like I could try and rap about anything else, but for some reason, the sexual bars is what people want to hear. You know, the raunchy shit. They want to hear me say something that you're not going to expect. And it's like, so it's like, now that's become my brand. And it's like, whether I like it or not, really.
Whether personally it's giving you satisfaction, that's sort of like, you've come to be known as.
Exactly. And like, that's not to say that can't change, but like, you got to give people what they want first. And then it's like, then you can... It's weird, because once you decide to become an artist, as opposed to just your regular fucking self who just so happens to rap, then it's a whole different ballgame. It's like what I was talking to you about that night, the person versus persona.
Absolutely. I was just about to say, people, you can see it too, who's really has a persona in rap. And that, it goes a very, very long way. When you're on TikTok or Triller, you're making Instagram videos, and you're an enigma almost. You know what I'm saying? You're a person that brings liveliness and a character, and it's not just this bland person, or not even that, because you can be that in your every other day life, but like we were saying before.
You know, and that's not to say that, like, that persona that you create isn't you as well. Mm-hmm. But, like, at the same time, it's like fucking, what time is it, 4 p.m. on a Sunday? I'm not going to come in here, like, half naked talking like Peachkka. Like, that's ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to do that. Like, yeah, all of the bars I spit are true. Everything that I talk about in my raps has happened to me, or, like, that gets real. And I pride myself on that. But at the same time, I'm educated. Mm-hmm. like I have a master's degree, so I'm not gonna like come in here and like, I don't know, speak like Peachkka, and like I don't know if that's, you know, an advantage that I have because I am an actor. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know, like, but it's like you can't deny that the music's good.
Absolutely.
and that I wrote it.
And it's authentic, too. And it comes from a place of
That's what I mean. Like, a lot of these people, like, they don't write their own bars. Mm-hmm. And it's like, but we assume that the things that they're saying in their music is true. When in reality, there are so many people, male and female, that are writing their own bars, and it is true. Mm-hmm. And, like, sometimes it's about depression and shit, and nobody gives a fuck.
True.
No one cares.
It comes down to consumer. It's like who's saying it and who's absorbing it, who's listening to it, taking it in. Because that same person could send a message of negativity and all these things, and their people would eat it up. But as soon as they switch up real quick and say something about, oh, you should change this, you should be more positive, it's like, where the fuck were you this before? Like,
right.
Yeah. And
exactly. I've had that conversation before.
It's like the authenticism is so rare to find, but people are struggling with it every day. All these artists are struggling.
Well, because that's where, and to bring it back full circle, that's where the person versus persona comes in, because it's like, that's how you become authentic, is by separating it from yourself. Like, it sounds kind of redundant, but that's what you have to do. It's like you have to take yourself from a certain point in time when you were going through all these things, which you might be healing from now. You might have recovered from whatever it is that happened to you, you know, be it like, you know, when you were like on the street, when you were out here, when you were doing whatever you had to do, like for male, like men and women, like, so whether it's hoeing, whatever it is, like you take who you were at that time and then you make it your persona, so that way you can switch out of it, so you can remind yourself, I'm not that person anymore, and I can heal, and I can get past it. But when it's entertaining, because fucked up people are entertaining, so it's like, we all love to laugh, you know? Unfortunately.
That's the culture.
Right, and that's why so many comedians have died, so many actors have died, so many of our favorite hip-hop artists have died, you know? Like, because they don't separate it. And that's something, like, in the future, this is something that is going to be written about, like, it's going to be studied, it's going to be, this is like, you know what I mean, this is something that artists need to be tapping into now, because we need to be able to access these emotions, but also know that we don't have to be that person all the time.
Absolutely.
You don't have to be that fucked up person just because people want you to be. I fully believe that.
No, we're hitting on some real topics.
You know, I fully believe that's why Mac Miller isn't here today. Like, rest in peace. Like, God rest his soul. But like, it's hard. It's hard, and like you see it in a lot of different rappers. They can't differentiate themselves from this version, and you have to be able to do that. Or else you're going to be in this continuous cycle of just...
And it's just, even if it's personal with you, you're never going to be satisfied with you personally, because...
Ever.
Everyone's looking at you as this person, this...
And everyone's got something to say.
Exactly. And if you're not being that, it's judge. Of
course. So if you can then, again, separate it, and people can say whatever the fuck they want, that's not you. That's this person. And it's like, you can say whatever you want about Peachkka. I don't give a shit. But like, you don't know Nikki. You know what I mean? You really don't know me. So it's like, it doesn't really fucking matter.
At the end of the day, nobody's really gonna get to know you except the people really around you.
Exactly. And like, I know that none of them are gonna say no shit. You know? Like, say to my fucking face. That's awesome.
Yeah, so you got your full project, first full project out.
Yes.
Life's a Peach.
Finally.
Tell the people a little bit what they can expect if they haven't tuned in yet. What are they going to see when they do tune in? When they do.
Ooh, yeah.
What they going to expect?
Yeah, so fucking a lot of nasty shit. That's really it. That's really it. A lot of nasty shit. A lot of swear words. I didn't release a clean version because, like I said,
would it even be possible?
I don't believe in it. No,
I don't think so.
No, one of the tracks. Oh my god, that's. Like you said, I've done a couple other interviews. Like I was on this radio station in London, and like it was an actual radio station, so like it was edited and stuff. And like he was like, "Send me some of your tracks," and I'm like, "Lucan, like I don't
know if that's."
He was like, "All right, I'll edit it," and I'm like,
that'll take a while.
So I sent him 2 tracks, and I got there, and he was like, "I could only edit 1."
I don't think there's probably any songs on there that could probably be fully edited, but it's not a radio friendly type of.
No, vibe. I feel like the most radio the most
Mm-hmm.
radio friendly one is probably Lonely at the Top, and I did that for a reason. I wasn't even gonna put that on the EP. That started off as as a freestyle, like something that I wrote because, like I said, I don't freestyle. Just fucking like. So it was like, Lonely at the Top. That's the one. It wasn't even going to be on the EP, like I said. It started off as, like, something that I did because, like I said, I don't freestyle. So I had these bars written for this, like, cipher that I was going to do. And it ended up being, like, I was the only woman there. And it was at this place called Chip Shop.
Okay.
And it just so happened she played this beat that like the same beat that I wrote this on. Like I don't know, it was like a whole big
worked.
It ended up happening, and like they reloaded the track, all this stuff, and like this became a song that, like, I ended up doing live all the time. And like it's just because it's dirty, but there isn't like that many swear, like it's almost like I let him nut in my mouth and I make him kiss me, and it's like when that shit, like, for me, that was the only track I was performing. So I was going to these open mic nights and performing this, and like people are already expecting me to go on stage and like start singing or you know, whatever, and then they hear this shit come out of my mouth and they're like, oh my god,
taken aback.
Oh my god. And like that's what I love. I love that shit because that
shock value. Yes,
that's it. That's
shock
it.
Factor.
People used to say that to me as an insult. That I did everything for shock value.
Really?
Yeah, and I was like, well, if that's what you think, then I'm really gonna do it. Like, you know what I mean? Like you guys, like,
then
this
it works.
is
It works. Huh?
But because it was like I was just living my life. But it's like, if that's what y'all think, then.
Yeah, if you really think if you really think I'm out here just saying shit just to say it, and it's not really true, but then come see me. Then
But that's what I'm saying. This was even before I started doing music.
Okay.
Like they used to just say that to me, like living my everyday life.
Oh, wow.
And it's like now I'm a rapper saying this shit, so it's like you really wanted to be shocked.
Yeah, a little scrutinized, like little finger, you know what I'm saying, pressed on you.
Real shocking now, huh?
Okay. Very interesting. Very interesting. So take me a little bit of talking about performing live. Take me back into, you know what I'm saying, some of the favorite moments and some of the things, whether it's performing live or creating music, whatever it is, some of the things that your art has brought you to, some of the favorite memories and moments that's brought you.
Oh my god, yeah. So like I feel like just in general, like I would never have guessed, like if you would have asked me like 5 years ago if I would be on stage rapping, like I would have...
You probably would have been like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I'd have been like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, honestly, but like it's done wonders for me. I feel like every single time I perform is so dope. I'm trying to think of like one standout one. I feel like I performed... Okay, so last Valentine's Day, I performed at this, like, women's, like, all-female rapper thing, and, like, ended up running into one of my exes there. And, like, he he and I ended things on a really, really bad note. He was an asshole to me. And like, yeah, it was very, very rude. And I was like, it's fine. Like, I didn't even care. I just blocked him. Like, whatever. I was like, I'm bossing up. I don't need you anymore. Whatever. And like, do it. Exactly. Leave me. I don't care.
Everyone else is listening. Just do that. Yeah.
Just think about yourself.
Yeah.
If you keep going back to somebody who's being a dick to you, just block them. Just leave them. Just leave them alone. Real shit. And then I was performing and I saw him. He made eye contact with me, and I was like, oh hey, like, and that was it. He didn't want to speak to me, whatever. Bear in mind, like, I was with somebody new, like, and I knew I was performing, so it was like, I'm ready for this, and then he was too scared, and he had to sit downstairs the whole time because he didn't even want to see me. It was so funny, and like I walked out like with my boyfriend and all this stuff at the time, and it was so liberating, I feel, because like knowing that some of my songs were about him, like all this shit.
He probably knew that as well, probably.
Oh yeah, like because that was at the time that I wrote Barbie Dreams, and like it was like living at home with his mom and like all this shit. Like I was just
coming at it a little bit, so
just talking shit.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about the how you're doing your podcast. You know what I'm saying? Peachy TV is out right now. You're working on the Shed Talk. You're doing music. You're educated now. Like, tell me how you spend time and have all of that time for creativity, though.
I don't work.
Yeah.
I don't work. I had a really bad mental breakdown at my last job.
Sorry.
No, it had to happen. So it was like, I knew that like working a normal 9 to 5 wasn't for me. So with all this stuff with Shed Talk and Peachy TV and everything, it's literally me just compiling my resume and my portfolio. Like these are things that I should have been doing throughout my time at university, but like I was struggling with my mental health and like not doing a lot of the things that I should have been doing, despite getting my degree and like and doing really well. That way, I wasn't focusing on a lot of things. I'm getting my portfolio together. You know what I mean? It's like these are like now that I have all the skills that I need, like this is what like I said, I should have been doing. So it's like I know that with my mental health, like it's set me back, and it's like I've got to just catch up. Like, but like while doing all the creative stuff, you know what I mean? So it's like,
I think that coincides a little bit though, right? With, you know what I'm saying, you're, like you said, your portfolio is building through the things that you went to school for. And all those things
for sure. Like, I'm not saying that in a bad way. Like, I'm not saying all this stuff in a bad way. Like, I feel like my path was just different. Like, I needed to go through things in a different way. Like, most people don't go to a completely different country to study.
Absolutely.
You know, most people don't, like, change their entire life at 19. And it's like, I did what I had to do because I needed a change. And it's like, that's how I see things. Like, I don't view, like, normal, everyday people shit. Like, I don't rate that highly. Like, I don't consider myself, like, a normal member of society. And I feel like the way that people are, like, in the system just really bugs me. So it's like I actively try to not be in it. And but people like don't like to hear that. You know,
why do you think that is?
Because they want to feel better about being in it.
Yeah, they want to feel like, oh well, I'm too normal or anything like that. I'm too boring or something like that.
No, it's like you get into these mindsets of like, oh, well, I have student loans to pay back. I have to have a job. I have to pay X, Y, and Z. When those are all real things. But it's like, thankfully, I'm able to stay with my grandfather, and like, I don't really have to worry about anything else. Like I just make sure that I can smoke some weed, have food. Like, you know what I mean? I take care of him. I take care of my mom when I have to, like, emotionally. But I feel like I don't want to be worried about shit like that. And, like, that might be naive of me, but I feel like other people just like to be told.
Yeah. That's absolutely
And they're
true.
comfortable with it. And, like, and that's fine. but that's not how I...
Not your prerogative. Yeah.
No. And I feel like most people who make art don't feel that way either. Real artists. Real, genuine artists.
True. Very true. And so, tell me a little bit about your mission, I guess, as an artist, and sort of what this end goal is with your art and with your music, I guess, a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like, and that's the thing, like, I feel like this interview could go forever because, like, the music is only a part of it. Like,
exactly. That's why I say art. That's why I say...
Right, and it's this thing of, like, liberating women, liberating people, but more specifically women, that, like, you don't have to be any specific sort of thing. You know what I mean? You can be every single part of yourself that you, like, you know, that exists. Like, you can be as weird as you fucking want to be. You can be as sexual as you want to be. You can be as non-sexual. You can be whoever. And, like, it does go for everybody, but obviously I'm a woman, so I speak. We, just like I was saying before, like, we love to be told. As people, like, in our society, we love to be told what to do, who to be, like, how to act, like, because it makes things easier.
Very true.
And, like, I have so much respect for people who don't listen to that for whatever reason.
Breaking that mold. Yeah.
For sure. And, like, I feel like the way that people go about it, sometimes they're seen as crazy. Sometimes, you know, they aren't crazy. But it's like you have to, like, figure out what works for you. And, like, there's nothing more liberating than not listening to people, I think, personally. And, like, especially with, like, social media and, like, all that shit, like, it's so easy to just fall in line. And I, like, have always respected people who don't do that. And it's, like, I think that's what I want to encourage. Like, you don't have to listen to people. Like, you know what I mean? True. You don't have to be what anybody wants you to be, like... Just because, yeah, I don't know. And
there's a lot of followers nowadays. There's not a lot of leaders. There's not a lot of people that have a mindset of their own, and they think, you know what? I'm not gonna even entertain something that is so ingrained in everybody else that they can't even see other than that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and like, and a lot of people don't really get it, and like, it's understandable because it's like it's kind of like past most people's comprehension because like it's so, just like I said, it's so easy to just be told, okay, this is the next step. This is the next thing you do. And like, but at the same time, like where it comes from for me is like a lot of times like body image, where it's like, this is the way you're supposed to look. And if you are a bigger girl, then you can't be sexual, or you can't love yourself that much, or no one's gonna want you, or whatever. That's not true. And that's how I know that everything is bullshit. Yes. You know, because
personally experienced
like
the other half of that, the other side.
Exactly. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's, and that's where my lyrics come in. And like, it's like, I've had people tell me like, you know, you should just put your music out and not include your image as well. And like, I get it, but like, that's part of it. Yeah. It's like, no, I got a message from your man and he said he missed me, but I also look like this. So how does that make you feel? Like, because you're so concerned about yourself and the way that, you know, all these things. And it's like, it's
always
part
that
of
competition though. It's always that, I'm going to compare and compete and all this. And we do that every day, all day, right? In all different types of facets.
And it's only because people don't want to think about themselves.
Very true.
So then they're going to think about the next person. And they're going to think about, oh, well, I don't like this about them, because they want to make themselves feel better. Like, that's all it is. And it's like, people are just so scared to tell the truth to themselves, to other people. And that's where everything's fucked up. It's like, we can't deal with the truth about ourselves. And it's like, once you realize, okay, no, actually, like, I am different. Like, I don't want to think like other people. Like, I believe this, and this. This, and this has happened to me. And, like, you know, these are my negative traits. And it's like, but you have to accept all of it. And, like, a lot of it, people,
they don't want to accept the harsh reality.
For sure.
They can't swallow. They can't handle the truth. That's such a good... It's so true. That quote is so true. They can't handle the truth.
It's true. They can't. And, like, we all can't sometimes. You know, there's different things that some of us can deal with, different things some of us can't, and it's like...
And that just speaks to us as people and humans.
Right.
We all have different values, traits, and understanding each other is always going to be hard.
For sure. Forever.
So tell me a little bit about your message to your supporters, something that you got to say to the people listening, to all these people that are going to tune in.
Yeah.
What you have to say.
Love yourselves. Love yourselves. Love yourselves. Love yourselves and love the people around you. And stream Life's a Peach. And swear a little bit. Just swear a little bit. Who fucking cares?
Live a little bit. I love it. All right, so tell the people where they can find you at, where, you know what I'm saying, plugs, anything you need to know, shout out to anything.
It's Peachkka. Yeah, Peach, 2 Ks and an A.
Links are going to be in the description,
for
too.
For sure. Peachkka.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look it up if you don't know what it means. Yeah, subscribe to my YouTube. I've got some video content coming soon. You can watch Peachy TV. You can listen to Feelin' Peachy. You can listen to Shed Talk.
Yes, sir.
Listen to everything. I'm everywhere. SoundCloud, Spotify.
Links are going to be below. Everything's going to be in it. There you go. All right. Thank you so much, Peachkka.
Stop it. Thank you. This was really fun.
Absolutely.
I love being interviewed.
We're gonna do it again. We're going to have on the Shed Talk. We're going to give you a round.
I feel like you're probably going to for sure have to edit a lot of it. I feel like I definitely sound crazy.
Nah. This is unfiltered, unedited. We go right through.
Perfect.
So, hey. All right. We live from the Gazebo. Thank you so much, Peachkka. All right. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Dope. Gazebo.